All right, hello, welcome back to Gay by Gay. How's it going, everybody out there?
It's a good day to be gay, man.
Always a good day to be gay.
Always a good day. As I'm sure you can tell from the title, we're talking about a very fun topic today. We're talking about daddy issues. Yay.
Because everyone has a dad.
Who's got it? Who wants it? No one wants it, but everybody's got it. Everybody's got some sort of daddy issue, guaranteed.
Yeah.
So let's start off with Aliyah, because to be fair, your dad's, number one, still alive.
Yeah,
and number two, still around.
Yeah.
So let's start with you. How's your relationship with your dad, Aliyah?
Oh, my dad. Let's start from the beginning, shall we?
Sure.
So when I came out of the womb,
Wow, very beginning.
We're going all the way.
I'd say until about the age of like 7, 8, 9-ish, around that area, I used to hang out with my dad a lot. And then when I started becoming more of a pubescent girl into that stuff, my dad kind of said, you're on your own. I still had my mom.
Was he just awkward about it? Or?
Oh, yeah. Not even. I think when I got my period, my dad came up to me and said, good job, or something like
congratulations.
that. Yeah.
You are now a woman.
You are now, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. But, no, my dad was pretty good when I was, like, a kid. He would read to us sometimes. He would do home reading with us. And then as I got older, he kind of decided to be more of a ghost. He lived in our house, but he didn't really talk to us as much.
More of like the guy that lived in your house.
Yeah.
More like the troll that lives in your basement.
Yeah. He lives in the basement.
He does.
My mom and my dad are still unhappily married. But when I was younger, I don't know, how old was I? How old was I when my mom got sick?
That would have been before I met you. You probably would have been, what, 9, 10, something like that?
So when I was 9 and 10, my mom, who was my biggest caretaker, had started having seizures, and she was out of commission for a while. So it was up to my dad to take care of us.
That didn't work out well.
No, he was not very good at that. I mean, he fed us McDonald's and Tim Hortons, and as a kid, that was awesome. But as a parent, I can see how that might be an issue.
Yeah.
God damn it.
One time he fell asleep and he was supposed to pick me up from school. That was funny.
That's your dad in a nutshell.
True. It's not that he doesn't care about my sister and I. He has his own issues, and he just decided that the relationship he wanted with us is more of a silent one. There's no... I'd say there's not really a fatherly connection between our relationship. I think of him more as just like...
A roommate, maybe?
Not even like a roommate, just like the guy who gave me his genetics. Like,
sperm donor.
I don't want to say he's like a sperm donor, because like at least he's like still in my life. But
he is, but he's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, he's alive, and yes, he's there, but that doesn't
He's not
mean,
he's not there for you.
He's not present. There's a huge difference between, like, being around and, like, being present in your relationship with your
life.
children.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially when my mom got sick. He was never, like...
He very much checked out at that point.
Yeah,
I think
he was never
he felt the pressure of,
us.
you know, having a sick wife. I think he felt the pressure of having 2 young girls who already he really felt like he couldn't connect with or relate to, and I think that just kind of broke him.
My sister is 6 years older than me, so her experience is a lot different than mine, because she was a lot older at the time anyway. She was almost an adult. But for me, at least, I had basically lost most of the care in my childhood, because my mom was a big part of that, and my sister... She's there for me, but in a silent way. Her and my dad are very much alike, but she cares more, I'd say.
Yes.
When I was 15, this is a funny story. I had seen a baggie of weed on our laundry machine, and I thought I had discovered this big, huge secret that my dad was smoking pot. So I went upstairs into my sister's room, and I go, I have a huge secret to tell you. And she goes, what is it? And I go, Daddy smokes pot. And she laughed at me and said, you didn't know?
As if it was just like, you know, common knowledge. Hello? What do you mean you didn't know?
Like, what do you mean I didn't know? And then she goes downstairs and tells my mom that I had found out. And my mom goes, yeah, Daddy's been smoking pot since, like, before you were born. And I was like, oh, great. And not against anyone's parents who smoke pot, or if you smoke pot, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
You do you.
yeah, but that's just my dad. His whole life is basically going to work, coming home, laying on the couch, bitching at my mom about something. That's usually his being. I had recently told my mom that I didn't know if I wanted my dad in my kids' lives. Mostly because,
I remember you messaging
really
me
upset
about
about
that
that.
first, because Aliyah had actually messaged me, and she'd asked me, Abby, do you think it's bad that I don't want my dad in my, hypothetical kids' lives? Like, I don't want him in their lives because I feel like he's not going to bring anything but, bad stuff into their lives. Does that make me a horrible person? And I was like, no, I just think it makes you honest. Like, you're looking at the situation and you're just kind of like, what is he going to bring to my children? He's already kind of done quite a bit of extensive damage psychologically in your life. Why would you want that around your kids?
Yeah.
Like, that's hard.
I mean, he was never bad. There was a couple times that were pretty bad. There's a couple times that were really bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your dad and I don't get along.
I know you.
Yeah, no. Your troll father.
My troll father.
I'm pretty sure he's like a sloth. I think he may have mold growing on him on one side.
Oh, probably.
He's like your trother.
My trother.
Your trother.
What does that mean?
Troll father. Trother.
My trother. My goblin dad.
Your goblin dad who lives in the basement.
You're gaudy.
You're gaudy.
You're gobbly.
Gobbly.
One thing I always kind of resented about my dad was that even when I was younger, even though he doesn't have much of a relationship with my sister and I, it was always expected that we had to yield to him in some way. Like, if I wanted...
He was the man of the house. Yeah.
When I was dating a boy, when I wanted that boy over, I would go ask my mom, can I have my boyfriend over? And my mom would go, well, you have to ask your dad. And your dad has to say yes for him to come over or him to sleep over.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, but why do I have to yield to my dad?
Who's not there, who's not present, who doesn't know anything about my life.
Who doesn't really care. Like, even when I had broke up with my boyfriend and came out, it's not like he even talked to me about it.
No, God, no.
Probably still thinks it's a phase.
Yeah, he said that at one point.
Yep.
Yeah. But another thing that I don't like about my dad, whenever he wants to know something about me, he will ask my mom and he won't ask me about it. But he'll ask it, because we all live in the same house.
Yep.
And he'll go into my mom's room and ask loudly enough so that I can hear it. Maybe, like, what's the last time he asked about?
Isn't it about, like, dance or something?
No. I think he asked my mom, what is this I hear about Aliyah being gay? In my mom's room, loud enough for me to hear it. And I'm like, my dude.
Why couldn't you just come and ask
me
about that?
I'm your kid.
Yeah.
But, at least I don't have a horrible experience.
I mean, the trouble is, I feel like your dad is actually not just, kind of a poor father.
Yeah.
I think he's also he's had a lot of psychological damage on both you and your sister. Because, I mean, he's the whole reason your sister moved out in the first place. You want to tell that story?
I think my dad called my sister fat. And my sister's... She's sensitive, but she's silently spiteful and sensitive.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as soon as she got the chance, she was like, I'm moving out. And she doesn't talk to my dad anymore. I can't remember the last time she talked to my dad.
Nope.
Must have been the last time she went home to grab a piece of furniture or something.
But again, it's that whole idea of why would she want him in her life? Because didn't he also tell her that she had, like, shit brown eyes or something?
That was her mom, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom made her cry.
So, yeah, I feel like for your sister, who's extremely sensitive, she's now got two parents who, are very kind of insensitive in that way. And I feel like with your mom, at least your mom still cares about your sister, and she knows that. But with your dad, nothing gives him the right, because he's not present, he's not there. And so for him to take such a critical stance against her and to say something as negative as that against her, I think just, it was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. I think that for her was just that whole, well, fuck it, I don't want you around me because you bring nothing good to my life.
It's understandable.
Yeah, it's not like
even for you, like, saying that you don't want him, like, in your kid's life, so yeah.
It's just that, like, if you're not there enough to forge a relationship, why would I want you there in the first place?
Yeah.
And it's not, like, he's not a bad dude. He's a quiet dude.
I would disagree with you on that one.
Yeah,
Your father and I do not get along. There's quite a few moments that stick out to me. The first one was after a dance recital. we had announced that Aliyah was deciding to go professional about her dancing career.
Oh my God.
And her dad is so non-present that he didn't even know that that's what she wanted to do. And after the recital, you know, she went to go and see her family to get all the congratulations and everything, you know, pretty typical. And he just, grabbed your arm and was like, what's this I hear about you wanting to be a professional dancer? Like, so negative, so sort of condescending, so sort of like, excuse me, my daughter's not going to do anything like that.
Yeah, like it wasn't even
he
like
had
a
no concept of what you wanted.
No,
and on top of that, he was treating it like such a negative thing instead of being proud of you.
In front of everyone.
It was very much that sort of like, what's this I hear about you wanting to go professional? Not my daughter.
Went backstage, had a mental breakdown. That was a great time.
Yeah, no. And then the other reason I really can't stand him, there was one time. Aliyah is a very tough person. Yeah. Very much so. In that, you know, for me as her instructor, there have been many times that I've had to tell her to stop doing certain things because, you know, her pain tolerance is extremely high. I remember there was one time when Aliyah was complaining that she didn't feel well. And it got to the point that she had actually started crying because her stomach hurt so badly. And, you know, I knew that something was very, very wrong right away because that was, you know, Aliyah, even when she's sick, will still try to continue dancing. To see her just very kind of limping around, like crying because she was in pain, I was like, there's no way that this is a normal reaction for her. So, you know, I had said, okay, Aliyah, I think you should go to the doctor because, unfortunately, it was hurting right where her appendix would have been, and I was very concerned that it could be appendicitis, and of course that's very dangerous, very deadly within a short amount of time, and I was like, we should probably take you to an emergency room just in case.
It was really bad.
And so my mom and I had planned on taking you to the emergency room, and we were like, okay, Aliyah, see if your mom's home. Your mom wasn't home, so we were like, is your dad home? And your dad was home. And so we had you go home, or we had you call him first, and you were like, Dad, you know, I think I need to go to the hospital. I'm in a lot of pain. Like, this hurts. I've never felt anything like this before. And what was his response?
No, you have to wait until your mom gets home, and she'll take you.
Oh, my God.
You had a car at home, correct?
Yeah.
Your father has a license, correct?
Yeah.
He wanted you to wait until your mother got home from the other side of the city when you may have had appendicitis because he didn't feel like driving you to the hospital.
You could have died, man.
Yeah, well,
I mean, if it was.
It didn't turn out to be appendicitis, and when I left, Abby dragged me out of the house.
Yep,
my dad,
I did. I took you to go and get your medical card, and I was standing in the doorway, and he came up from his dark basement and tried to say, oh, she's not going to the hospital, and I dead-ass looked at him, and I said, yes, she is, and my mother and her, like, my mother and I are taking her to the hospital. Yeah. We're going right now. And I just frog hopped her out the door, and off to the hospital we went, and we sat there until her mom
What is he going to do? Like, grab Aliyah and, like,
and that's exactly it. And actually, when you finally did see the doctor had expressed that he was concerned that it could be appendicitis.
Had to get ultrasounding
And everything else because he said, it sounds like classical symptoms. Thank God it ended up not being appendicitis.
It was this weird flu bug.
It was a really terrible flu bug of some sort. But the fact that the doctor was concerned that it could be appendicitis.
I was out for almost 4 weeks,
You were sick. You were sick.
I was popping Tylenol and Pepto-Bismol daily.
That's all she lived on, man.
That's all I lived on.
You were so sick. And as I said, I was so angry the fact that a doctor had even said, thank God you came in. Yeah. This could have been very serious. They kept you like on watch for 24 hours to make sure that it didn't develop into anything else. But the fact that your dad was simply too lazy to drive you, he just didn't feel like driving you to the hospital. And, you know, you were sick enough that a doctor was concerned. That makes me so angry because as much as you say, he's not a terrible guy. I'm sorry. Who sits there and goes, my child is in pain. Yeah. My child is crying. My child, you know, seems to be extremely sick. I don't feel like leaving my house to go and drive her, even though I have full capability to go and do this. Yeah. I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
That disturbs me on a deep level because that's not just a bad parent. That's a shitty person. My mother and I were willing to drive you and sit with you at the hospital because we were that
blood
concerned.
Family. Yeah. Blood related. So.
Yeah.
It just, it bothers me so bad. It pisses me off so badly.
And you know what he had the nerve to say when I got home? That you weren't allowed in the house anymore?
Him?
Yep. Yeah. No, he was like, Abby's not allowed in our house anymore. I've been back to their house several times since. He's not going to stop me.
He's not going to say anything, because he'll never say anything to me.
Basement.
Nope.
Because he didn't even say that. He didn't even tell me. He told my mom, and my mom had to tell me. You can't have Abby in the house anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That didn't happen.
Oh, no. Ugh.
Literally, like, last week.
What a
be real.
Yeah. Last week I was at your house, so forget it. I can only imagine how well he's going to respond when he finds out that
We're going to be all living together.
Yeah,
like,
you're planning on
year.
moving out next year. I don't think he's going to take well to that. I don't think your mom's going to take well to that.
I don't want to. Maybe I don't want to say it's
Your
like
mom. Your
well,
mom
but,
will be upset, but your dad is going to. First thing he's going to say she's not. No, she's not.
Yeah.
Because I think he very much relies on you. He and your mom have a very poor relationship at this point. Your mom has considered leaving several times, but hasn't yet.
Yeah.
I feel like your dad very much relies on you to kind of entertain your mom, take care of your mom and everything else because he's not present. So I feel like he's very much going to try and resist you moving out because he doesn't want to have to interact with your mom. And I don't think that that's a good relationship for...
Your mom deserves so much better.
Yeah, your mom deserves better. I don't think that's a fair relationship to push on you and your mom because in a way he's almost treating you as like a surrogate spouse where he's like, oh, go entertain my wife for me. Like, what? That's messed up. That's not good.
I don't think he'll say anything about it to me. I think he'll have a lot.
Do you think he'll even realize you're gone?
He'll probably tell your mom and be like, what is this I hear about Aliyah moving out?
That's what, he's just going to go.
Wants to move out?
That's going to be what it is. Yep. Nope.
Dads, father figures in our lives.
Yeah, not always a good thing.
Your dad is more of a father than a dad.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I feel like there is a huge difference. Yeah, very much so.
Is at least, like, I don't want to, like, downplay my experience, but at least he wasn't, like, terrible.
Like, he wasn't abusive.
No. I was going to say, he's not abusive, he's neglectful.
Yeah.
I would
very
say
much
that.
so. But I feel like...
Which is better, but just
the
as
neglect
worse.
does sometimes pass over to me, like him refusing to drive you to the hospital. That, to me, isn't just neglect. That, to me, is just...
That's a very bad person.
Yeah, that's just a very bad person, a very negative person. And, you know... I would look at any one of my students and say, you need to go to the hospital, I'm taking you now.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be a question to have a father sit there and say, oh, well, I don't feel like getting up to drive my child to the hospital. Just, no.
Yeah. Dads.
Dads.
Daddy
All right,
issues.
so, that's Aliyah's poor father story.
My dad. My goblin dad.
Your goblin father.
Your goblin.
Your goblin.
Your goblin.
So next time we will talk about Charlie's many experiences with her father figures.
So
in her life.
excited.
Oh yeah.
So excited.
So stay tuned for that, and we will see you in the next episode.
Take it gay by gay, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.